everybody, welcome to the show. My name is Amanda Ostrander. I am a teacher-turned-homeschool mom, and this is Raising A to Z, a place where we talk about all things homeschooling. And today, you get to plan a whole month of homeschooling with me. So, we are going to plan a whole month of homeschooling. I like to plan kind of 1 month at a time. I do find that if you plan too far in advance, it doesn't give you the flexibility that if something comes up that you need to take a little longer or something like that, then you can't adjust if you've planned 4 months in advance. But like on a month-to-month basis, it kind of gives you that flexibility. If you need an extra week, that's okay. Like you have a little bit more room to move things around. So I do kind of think that like once a month tends to be like the best thing for me. I know some people who like to do once a week. And if that's you, great. I just find that like once a week is too often for me. Especially to like lug everything out. That's the thing for me, right? Like I don't want to have to take everything out once a week. I like to do it once because then I just want to do it once a month. It's already a lot of stuff. By the time you get math books and language books and science books and all of it, it's just a lot. So I personally do my homeschool planning once a month. And I try to keep it simple. So you're going to plan with me today. I'm going to start off and show you how I do it. And maybe this will be helpful to you in the future. So first off, things you need. Got to start with a homeschool planner. This is my planner. It is the Essential Homeschool Planner. I designed it for homeschoolers and it is the planner that I use. So this is designed for me, for homeschoolers. It has all things I need in a homeschool planner, like long-term plans, which we did. There's a whole video on that when I did my long-term planning back in May. There's a place to put time blocking. There's a place for unit study planners. There's a place for field trip planners. I got my budgets in here. I've got my curriculum list, my reading list, all those kinds of things. And I have my monthly plans and I have my weekly plans. So I'm not going to do monthlies today. We're going to do the weekly spreads today. And so I obviously need a planner. After that, things I like to have on hand when I'm doing my planning. I want to have obviously pens. I personally have colored pens because A, I think it's pretty, and B, it helps me color code. So Alexi is usually pink because she likes pink, or she's blue. And then Zoe is almost always orange or yellow because that's Zoe. And then just a regular pen. You can use a pencil. You can use whatever you want. Actually, I got these. They're new. These were like a little birthday gift to me. They are the Inkjoy gels, the Papermate Inkjoy gels. I really like them. Big fan of Papermate pens, by the way. So yeah, we got some we got some pens. I've got my planner. I've got my stuff. So I always like to pull out all of my curriculum. So I've got my kids' math books. I got their language books, and then anything that you need to print. I like if you're gonna print the whole month. So I've got my Brave Writer unit for the first month. It's in here. We're doing NIMS Island, and then I also have my science unit from The Good and the Beautiful. So I have that. It's all printed. These are the parents' manuals too, by the way. The kids are over here. I don't need those right now. But I have those. Those are the things you want to have. You want to have your stuff printed before you get started. And I also have my stack of library books. So that is here. I've got everything that I need. The nice thing about this planner is because it is it's designed to be very open-ended. So this is the perfect planner if you want to plan from behind, if you want to plan ahead. You want to plan multiple kids. It's designed that you can kind of customize it to what you need. So this is how I customize it. Okay. I always start with socialization because of a couple of reasons. So it's always the first block in my schedule here, and then I go across. The reason I start with socialization always is because it kind of gives me a gauge of how much time I have to do my lessons. So if you know in the month coming up that there's a random appointment, dentist appointment on a Tuesday morning, I don't plan a whole bunch of extra lessons for that. If there's something coming up that is going to interfere with our schedule, it just helps me to know ahead of time, the big things. And then I can kind of adjust what we're doing based on the availability of those days. So I like to start with anything that is going to be in our schedule. So we're starting with the first week, which the first week is always going to be a little bit weird because it is the first week back to school, but that's the week we're at. Monday is a holiday, so we're not going to do anything. So Tuesdays, I'm going to do, so we're doing Science Center. And then we're going to do, they have Jiu-Jitsu. We have co-op. And Friday is Jiu-Jitsu. And then not back to school day. Oh, actually, you know what? Zoe has speech. I knew I was forgetting something. So those are the things that are coming up this week that are going to be impacting our schedule, our ability to do things. So we put them in, right? We need to know when we're having jiu-jitsu in the morning. We need to know when we're going to the Science Center. We need to know these things. Now I have a little bit of like, I know what's happening. Monday's holiday. We're just going to skip Monday. You can actually go through and do as much of this if you want. So then I like to start with math because I find it's the easiest one to go through. And then I'm going to decide what days we're doing math. Okay. That is, in my opinion, like the easiest thing to do. And I just start because I have 2 kids. I have math is this row here. So I'm going to put an A in any days that we're going to be doing math. And then I put a Z for Zoe for any days that we're doing math with Zoe. I just find it's the easiest way to kind of keep on track of things. And I pull out our curriculum. This is Zoe's. She's almost done actually. Her grade, this level here. So I just find where we're at. She's doing some telling time stuff. So I'm going to start because Zoe's book was first. I just start to find where she's at. And then I give her kind of 1 page to 2 pages, depending on how many activities are on each page. But yeah, I'm going to give her probably 1 page because it's the first week of school. We're going to ease in slowly this week, especially. So she's going to do page 277. And the next day she's going to do page 278. And I think we're going to do, and she'll do page 279. Boom. Zoe's math is played for the week. Then I'm going to go over to Alexi. This is one. Alexi is doing, where's she at? Cool. Okay, so she's starting some division. So she's going to do page, again, we're starting slow. So she's going to do page 109 and 110. Why is she going to do 2 pages? Because this is the only activity and then this is a lesson here. So we're going to do page 109 and 110. Okay. But on Wednesday, she's only going to do page 111 because we're not overwhelming people. And then page 12. Yeah, actually, she can do 111, 112. And then she can do she can do 113 and 114. So she's going to do 2 pages. She's also in 4th grade, so she can handle doing a little bit more. Okay, and voila, just like that, we're done doing math. Then we're going to move on to language arts. Again, I'm going to take the different colors and apply them to the different days that we're doing things. So Alexi, and then on Fridays we do a little bit. Zoe. Perfect. So then we're going to do Brave Writer, which is this one right here. I'm going to go through and I'm going to start figuring out. So I've already kind of done a little bit of work. So they do have like a sheet with all the questions. I just added Post-it notes to every page with the questions just copied right on. That way I don't forget to do the questions because I'm really bad at forgetting to do questions every week. So I just started adding them right into like my page notes. So we're going to just do that because it helps me. So what I do is, so actually both my kids are doing Brave Writer this year. Zoe, I've just cut back on hers. So for example, here This is, what is it? It's 2 long sentences. Zoe's gonna do 1. So very simple. They're both gonna do Brave Writer. So we're doing the highlight day, which is how we do it. And then next day it is going to be Brave Writer. They are going to do their copy, and they're going to do, oh, we're doing nouns. Okay, so we're doing Brave Writer, and because I know Brave Writer, they always do the copy work. So we're going to do page 8. And then when we do it the next day, we're going to do page 9. Actually, no, we're going to do page 8 and 9 here. See, sometimes you have to take a little quick look. This would be page 10. And then on the Friday, it is always like the spelling test. Okay, so Zoe's doing the same thing. She's doing 8 and 9. Now we're doing 10. We're doing spelling test. Fridays I try to keep pretty like low key because we go to jiu-jitsu, so it's kind of a quick get up, do a quick reading, our morning basket, and then we get into our spelling, and then we're done. Like that's kind of all I plan for the thing. The other thing that I always like to do with them is we do these daily language skills books. I just like it as like an extra focus on language. There's Alexi. She's also gonna do, I just put daily language. She's doing page 46, which means that she's gonna do she's gonna do page 48, and then daily language 49. Okay, and then we're just gonna do the same thing for Zoe. She goes through her daily language. She just started, I know this is a great one. She just started last year and she's getting there. So Zoe only does 28. She only does a half a page right now. I'm hoping by the end of the year to get her up to a full page, but she's just not there yet. Probably by December I'll have her up to a full page. And then she's doing daily language 30. All right, so that's 1 week of math. That's 1 week of language. And then we're gonna get into science. So we're using the Good and the Beautiful this month. I've already started doing a little bit of the prep here. So you could cut all these things out. I don't do that. It's not my forte. Here we go. I would like to see how many lessons are in this. Just because it gives me an idea of how many lessons we need to get through. So there's 15. All right, so this would probably be 4 or 5 weeks. Probably 5 weeks to get through if we do it 3 days a week. The other thing I need to look at is if we have an appointment, I want to do lesson 2, because sometimes they have videos. And I want to make sure that I'm not scheduling anything that needs a video. There's no watch this, right? On a day when we're not here. Because on the day that Zoe has her speech therapy, we're actually going to go and do schoolwork at a coffee shop. So that should be fine. Because this one has an intro? Like this one has an introduction video. So that's a good one for us to do on our first day. All right. So we're going to do lesson 1. While I'm kind of pulling this out, I'm also looking at my stack of books here. So I have this big stack of library books and I've kind of like loosely sorted it. I have a couple books on the top that are kind of like the books that I think would go really well on specific lessons, like kind of having skimmed through it. The rest of them are like, they are space books, but they're not like lesson specific books, if that makes sense. So like this one is like Henry Stars and it's a story about a pig. We're probably not gonna do a ton of like learning about stars when we're showing a message about a pig, a book about a pig. But like Magic School Bus, probably gonna have some more learning in there. I've got this book called The Moon, so when we find a lesson about the moon, we'll probably read that one on that specific. I've got this whole biography on Neil Armstrong. I think they do some space exploration. That'd be a good one for that day. So I'm gonna start with this one, and I'm gonna start with the Magic School Bus. Lost in Space, because I think that would be like a really good introduction book. So I know that when I do this lesson, I also want to do the Lost in Space book. So I put that in here too. Magic School Bus book. Okay, making my life easy. Okay. That's going to be a pretty easy lesson. That won't take us super long. Oh, so I did have a video for this one. So see, I pulled this one out that I have a Magic School Bus one for this. But so we don't do science on Wednesdays anyway. So then here we're gonna have lesson 2, and we're doing Magic School Bus number 7, 4, and it's called Seas Stars. So I have the whole Magic School Bus series on DVD, and so I knew there's a Lost Space one, so I went through and I pulled the titles already, and they're on my sticky notes here, which is why sticky notes are great. You put them, you can add little details and stuff. So I have that for that lesson, and then Fridays we don't do science. And so this is how I go through, and I just do this for every single week, and I continue on, and that's literally what I do. It isn't rocket science. It's not difficult. Other things that I add, I'll put down here, I'll add extras down here. So this is where I would add things like our tea time recipe. If we were doing tea time, we do tea times on Mondays, and we're not doing it this week because we have a whole thing planned on the Labor Day. So that's where I'll put recipes. This is also a great time to kind of go through and see if you need any supplies and make lists on your sticky notes of that as well. And so I just continue on. Like once I'm done, like what I just did, I just turn the page and I do the next week. And then when I'm done that, I just turn the page and I do the next week until I'm done the entire month of September. And that system seems to work pretty well for me. It's not an overly difficult system. It's pretty simple. And by the end, if there's anything extra that I want to add, I put it down in this extra row here. So I might add things like if we're going to do an extra hands-on activity, if we're going to go to the planetarium, if we're going to, like when we do tea time every Monday. And so I'll put that in, and I'll also include what recipe we're doing so that I don't have to think about it, and that I can make sure that I have all the ingredients before we get to that day. And I'll go through and I'll make little like supply notes on my sticky notes, and then I'll take those grocery shopping with me, or supply shopping, whatever it ends up being. And yeah, planning a whole month is not very difficult. It takes me about 30 minutes if I'm not explaining it. This obviously took a little longer, but it takes me about 30 minutes to do a whole month, 30, 40 minutes to do a whole month. It doesn't take a long time, but it does help me stay incredibly organized. And it gives me a little bit of a heads up too. So for example, this unit study is 15 lessons. So we might actually go into October a little bit. Good to know. Heads up in my brain. That's because we do about 3 lessons a week. We might need, like it might go into October, and that's okay. So it kind of gives me a little bit of a heads up. It gives me a place to keep all of my notes. And then this is also like, it serves as my records and stuff. Not that you need records in Ontario, but it's just nice to know and nice for me to keep track. So that's how I plan a whole month. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, click the bell to get notifications. Consider becoming a YouTube member because they get some really cool benefits, including bonus videos where they'll go through this entire unit with me, and I will share my favorite books, my favorite movies and documentaries. I will share the activities we did, the field trips we went on. That is members only exclusive. You also get early releases, you get coupons, freebies, like all kinds of cool stuff happens when you become a YouTube member for this channel. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm always posting content on there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.